Welcome to everybody. I'm glad that you all could join us today. We're really excited to share with you what's going on. Warehouse management system, there's a lot going on. In the world, in PTC, in our Move warehouse management system and WebShip as well. And, I just want to welcome you and thank you for participating. PTC has, a lot of success going on in the company. You can see here, if you're interested in numbers at the bottom, fundamentally, the point here is that the company's doing really well financially. We're having double-digit growth. Our recurring revenue is about 1.2 million right now. There's a lot of good things happening in the company. I don't know if any of you saw that on Thursday, PTC has joined the S&P 500, and we're excited, proud, and should hopefully give you a good sense of confidence in doing business with PTC, having the very, very strong outlook for growth, profitability. If you look at the analyst comments, they're all very, very strong. And now being part of the S&P 500 hopefully gives you added confidence that when you're doing business with PTC, you know we're going to be around a long time to support you and your business. Matt, you get the slides? Thank you. You can keep going. Really, that slide was just to reiterate that the company has enjoyed a lot of recognition in our social sensitivity areas and diversity and inclusion. And you can go to ptc.com to see all the awards we're winning lately in those areas. And then from a COVID standpoint, look, it's affected all of us in many different ways in all facets of our lives, including our business lives. Here at PTC, as you can see, we pay close attention to what's going on in our own employees, our offices, around the world, and also with our products, because we understand that all of you are also going through this in your businesses as well. So, the way we work has definitely changed. Hassan and his team and the Move product have done some extraordinary things to help our customer base throughout the pandemic. And, there are things that we wouldn't normally have done. And it's funny how you can surprise even yourself about what you can accomplish when you have adverse conditions around you. And this team particularly stepped up big time to create some very innovative tweaks to the system to allow companies to actually thrive during the pandemic instead of just survive. You can keep going, Matt. Yeah, keep going. We don't have to go through all that stuff. Thank you. Okay. And I guess the other thing is that the effects of the pandemic on our business are real. We have to be leaner. We have to be more integrated, demand-driven, and it creates a lot of stumbling blocks here with the warehouse. It impacts the company's ability to realize the benefits of the supply chain vision that we actually had to begin with. And that's why we built this end-to-end warehouse execution system that we call Move. It helps you to enable, coordinate, optimize the warehouse activities within the distribution center and across the extended distribution network. So, of course, you want to streamline your fulfillment processes. We all know that. But you got to compress the order to delivery cycle. You got to reduce the inventory carrying costs. You got to maximize the revenue and order profit. And so the approach we took to Move is to leverage PTC's Internet of Things technology called ThingWorx, created dashboards that are integrated with Move to give you visibility to things you might not otherwise have visibility to, whether you're in the warehouse or the distribution center, whether you're in the office, or whether you're in another location across the country. you have access to real-time dashboards, so you know what's happening and can plan effectively what to do with your workforce, what to do with equipment, and in the conveyor logistics as well. So anyway, we do this, you can keep going, Matt. We do this inside of what we call the Focus Solutions Group. You know, where everybody here in PTC who's on this call, we're all in this Focus Solutions Group. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of one of the business units here. We have people that are 100% dedicated to this product. And so you can imagine, like most of our companies that are thriving, that are growing at high rates, there's more and more products being added into the portfolio that, that we, build, support, sell here at PTC. That, augmented reality is pretty cool stuff. And if we didn't keep the core products managed inside of a separate business unit, it could be easily that, good talented people, we'd be losing to the newest, latest and greatest product that PTC is acquiring or building and going to market with. So we're finding that over the last several years, putting these products in a Focus Solutions Group has given us the best of both worlds. We get to keep 100% dedication on the Move product, yet we get to leverage those pretty cool new technologies that we build and acquire and go to market with. As I mentioned, like the IoT functionality and ThingWorx dashboards. And I know Hassan will talk a little bit more about a couple of those kinds of things. So this team in the Focus Solutions Group, we build the product, we support it, we service it, we implement it. Melissa's marketing, she's marketing Focus Solutions Group products. So we have people who are 100% dedicated to make sure that you're successful using our Move technology. So let me introduce Hassan. A couple of you know who Hassan is, but he's been with PTC for many years. You can see he's got a lot of great experience here. And he has this cross-functional team, Technical Center of Excellence, reporting into him. And he's here today to kind of talk to you a little bit about, all right, how's Move going to help you as the pandemic evolves into the new normal, whatever that is, and then talk a little bit about what the latest release has in it, and a little bit of our roadmap going forward. And we're going to invite you, those that are our customers, as usual, to make sure this is an exchange and give us your feedback about what is important to you in our future roadmap as well. So Hassan, I'm going to turn it over to you if you're ready.
Thank you, Joe. Yes. So we decided, based on the impact of pandemic last year and things we got changed, instead of going as usual talking about the shipping accuracy, inventory accuracy, shipment efficiency, we are concentrating about reverse logistics, e-commerce business, and we're going to touch base on different industries like cable, and we're going to go a little deeper on the dashboard. So if you think about it, in the past, we used to go to a store, pick maybe 2-3 different colors of shirt, maybe a couple different sizes, try it, and then buy the one we like and come home. But pandemic change our process, change our mindset. Now, almost everybody offers an online system. We shop online, but we kind of follow the same process. We're gonna pick maybe 2-3 different colors, maybe 2 different sizes, purchase them. We're gonna try them at home. And because everybody wanted to be a competitive, they're offering a free return. So we're gonna return them. Now, this really adds a lot. I mean, to be conservative, maybe 20+% of items are getting returned, but I have even seen numbers like 33%, versus where you were trying to return to your store, it was 6 or 7%. So when the return comes in, you might have a different 3 or 4 different distribution centers, but typically only you have one return center that manages all the items. So when the item comes back, one of the challenges is you need to verify it's really the item coming back is the right item. Yeah, I called in, I asked for an RMA, I said the product I'm returning, but is it really matching what I plan to do? Is it still under warranty? Because I might have called in 2 months ago and I'm returning it now. Now, the return process is almost like an inbound process, right? You're receiving an item, depending on its condition, you have to find where it needs to go. Does it need to go through repackaging? Does it need to go through refurbishing? All that is part of reverse logistics. And you might have some items that doesn't really require for you to process them. You still need to issue a credit, but like if a vitamin is open, you cannot resell it, or there might some items that you cannot resell it. So you don't want to go through the labor, try to receive it, and then trash it right there. You want to scrap it. What about if the item they are returning is really a vendor defect? The TV was broken, didn't work. The cable, the remote didn't work. And at the end, there are some items that are discontinued. Even if you return it, you cannot sell it, you cannot send it back. So you need to liquidate it. We manage all this through our Move Reverse Logistics solution. One of the items really I want to consider here, and you want to think about that reverse logistics is part of Move core functionality. We're not talking to another system. We're not. Everything is part of Move WMS, and it uses the same Move engine, which I'm going to describe it a little later on. Show you a flavor of it, what we mean with Move engine, or some of you guys know it as process method rules. But we use the same functionality, same engine to process all these returns. The return comes in, the return person uses the RMA, it scans the RMA, we get all the information. What's the claim number? What's the product order ID? What was the product? What was the number, quantity sold, and what's the quantity he's returning? All that is part of the return process. And to make it easy to the person who's processing all these items, we show image of the product so he can visually see and compare if it's it's matching what I'm returning. There was a concept of uh, kind of fraudulent, for a lack of better word, fraudulent consumer or fraudulent activity. And just to give you a sample there, it probably ties to the jewelry business. But maybe somebody buys a diamond ring that is 10 grand and look alike like it's $100. We have heard there might be somebody who's returning the $10 or $100 diamond ring instead of a 10 grand diamond ring. So it kind of gets flagged, and not that we're gonna stop the process, we're just gonna give a hint to the person that, hey, when you're processing this person's items, just pay more attention. And again, there might be, we just talked about jewelry. If a ring coming back, it probably needs to go through polishing before you can sell it. It needs to look clean and nice. Or if somebody returning a guitar, it might need to go through repackaging because now you need to put the manual there, put maybe extra strings there or whatever, but needs to go through the packaging before you can sell it. Or it might be a good, it might be clean, and you're gonna go ahead and return it to stock for next sale. Now, what kind of credit you want to give that person? Is it a store credit? Is it a cashback? However, this is all gets managed. And again, if you're receiving an item that you cannot resell, you can identify it. It creates a transaction to give a person the credit, but you're gonna scrap it. And when it comes to liquidation, these are discontinued items. So what you need to do, you build all these boxes or cases of these items, you show it to the prospect, to the buyers. They're gonna look at it and they might say, you know what, I want this toy, I want this blouse, or I want whatever. And you build the order for them based on what they want. And within the reverse logistic, you create the order, you reserve the inventory, you ship the inventory, and you are done. And we inform the whole system that this liquidation order was created for this customer, this ship to address. You can use web ship right there to put a shipping label and ship it to the person. Now, what's another challenges that pandemic added to us, or put really pressure on the fulfillment center, e-commerce business? What's the difference? If you are dealing with your store or with your branches, typically your order lines are in hundreds. You want to ship maybe 5 cases of an item to your store. And maybe you're kind of replenishing your stores based on their activity. So order comes on today, you're allocating the inventory, you're reserving the inventory, you're picking, you're gonna ship it out in a couple of days or even next week. But e-commerce is different. The order line, the average order line is 1.5, but you have 100 more orders. So what happened here? Your order lines is very small, but number of the orders increased tremendously. And the customer are expecting to receive this item like a same day or the next day. It's not next week. So it's really caused that increase there. And you want to make sure that you're sending the right product. Because if you try to rush and send the wrong product, it's going to send it back. And you need to deal with that labor and process it and shipping the right product again at no extra charge. So really, it changed the whole schema of how we reserve the inventory, how we allocate it, and not think about it. Before, I used to go to a location, pick item A, pick 2 cases, put it on my cart, go forward. Now I have maybe 20 orders that need the same item from same location. So am I gonna go to that location, pick one, pick another one, pick another one? You can see how it increased my activity or my processing in the warehouse. And some people want to use automation, but can your WMS deal with the automation, with the voice picking, with carousels, with conveyors? How do we handle it? How do we handle this move? It's a core functionality. And when I talk about core functionality, this functionality has been there for years and years. We have this concept of batch picking. So I got 100 orders that I need 20 of the same item picked from the same location. And I know these are e-commerce orders. So I want to pick the 20 at one shot. I'm going to pick the 20. I'm going to take it into the package station. There, I want to pack it by order. I'm going to pick one item, put it in a box, and uh, Move can automatically call the web ship, send the shipping information, and generate the shipping label based on your parcel carrier. It can be FedEx, it can be UPS. Print the shipping label, put it on the box, put it on a conveyor, or send it to the shipping dock and let it go out of your warehouse. Or do you want to bring in automation there? Maybe voice picket. A lot of people are looking into the voice picket, a hand-free picket, which you can pick, use both hands to use it. Robotics is a big player in this area because now with robotics, you can go pick multiple items. And, we talked about a lot of problems, how we incoming, but really the e-commerce, the impact, pandemic impact on the warehouse, you have less people and you have to do social distancing. So I think if you're using robotics, you don't need to worry about social distancing or less number of the people, and they can work 24/7. So all this capability we can easily integrate with any automation software with the move material handling interface. So we talked about e-commerce business, we talked about reverse logistics. Now I want to kind of deviate from that challenge and talk about a cable and wire industry. If you are in cable and wire industry, the challenge we have is every WMS can pick eaches, can pick cases, can pick pallets. But when it comes to cable and wire, let's say you wanna build 100 feet, a 4-wire copper cable. Your system needs to understand that it needs to pick 4 different wire rolls. We cannot, and maybe these rolls are 1,000 feet. We cannot have a picker go there and cut 100 feet of each. The system needs to understand that I need to pick the 4 wires, the 4 rolls. Then I need to take it to the cutting station, cut this 100 feet. Then I need to take it to the station that I can roll them together and build a cable for any industry, for networking or whatever, and be able to reel the remaining cable and put it back in the inventory. The system needs to be smart enough that if I only need 100 feet of this wire that is 1,000 feet, and another order comes in, and I need another 200 feet, it needs to keep the remaining 900 as an available inventory. And it needs to understand that this might be on the cutting machine. So I want to cut it right there for the second order. I don't want to put it back and pull it out. Now, the system has to understand if an order coming down for 100 feet of 4 copper cable, that cable order is coming down at the finished good levels, at the cable level. But system needs to understand, for me to build that, I need to first pick the 4 wires. It's like, needs to understand the bill of material and bring them together, cut them, and pre-assemble them. So this concept we are talking about is cable and wire. But again, same thing holds true for oil and gas industry. The pipes needs to go through cutting machine, and the pipes are very expensive. You need to be able, if you need a 4 yard or 2 yard, and you cut 2 yards and 3 inches, it needs to understand that what's the actual inches on top of the 2 yard is, because those pipes are very expensive, and you wanna, charge or invoice your customer correctly. Again, we talked about cable and wire. There is a new concept coming on as intelligent apparel management. Basically, these are for new logos. You want to kind of design it using PTC's Flex PLM, send the BOM information to move. So when the order comes in within your facility, you can pick up the items, you can cut them, sew them, and send out the finished goods. Again, this IAM is a new concept. It started last year, but because of pandemic, it got pushed back a little bit. But probably by end of this year or early next year, it will come back again. So these are for new logos. I already covered this. So Move understands the concept of, is it a each pick, is it a roll pick, realizes he needs to reserve the entire roll of cable for picking purpose. He knows take it to the cutting machine, how much is left there to allocate against the new order, and it understands that if there is a after relay, it needs to go back to the put away location to be able to process it and use the kitting function to finally build the cable. Market strength. I believe truly this is the biggest differentiator between us and other WMS provider. You might have heard different terminology, flexibility, expandability, move engine, or process method rules. Basically, to give you an example, during put away process, you're receiving an item, we need to find the process. They say, when I'm receiving this item, my process is 200. The process has multiple methods. The first method is I want to consolidate with SKU if physically I can fit it in that location. I might not be able to fit it, or it's a new item I'm receiving. Therefore, I'm going to look for an empty location in the warehouse where that product is designed to sit. I might have a specific zone for this product, but I define my method and rules where to look for a empty location. Or I'm receiving this item, and when I'm visualizing it, the box is damaged. I want to send it somewhere else and look at it before I can determine, do I want to sell it or send it back? So the third method is if the item is not good for sale or available for sale. So all these process methods rules, it's a combination that is a move engine, and you can define it however you want to go. Or event triggers. We know not every WMS is going to behave same. Even if you're using multi-DC of move, you have 2-3 different facilities using the single instance of move. There might be a little differentiated between facility and facility. So we have this concept of event trigger. By event, we mean functionality. For an example, if you pack it and packing is completed, you might want to write to external table in your system for your ERP to use it or do something different. Those are event triggers at every step of the process. Creating a packing task, picking the pack or processing the packet, completing the packet, you can use event triggers to follow your process, to extend, to add items outside of move for your other applications. Flexible workflow. You started your process and you started with a simple pick, pack, ship. And you pick it, you pack it, you put in a shipping label, out the door. Now your process has grown bigger. You got more orders, you need to ship them, but you are shipping into the same place. Let's say you had the 5 different orders going to the same place. Today, you pick in, you pack in, you add in a shipping label, you sending it out. But that means you pay 5 shipping, uh, you pay for the 5 shipping costs. You want to change it. Maybe you want to save some money and say, you know what? I'm going to pick them, I'm going to pack them, I'm going to put them on a pallet that is going to the same location or same store, and I want to pay 1 shipping. So I'm going to change my process from pick, pack, ship to pick, pack, palletize, ship. And at the palletization, I want to call web ship and get the shipping label. Maybe I, instead of even parcel shipment, since I'm doing consolidation, building pallets, I want to use LTL carrier to save more money. This is, again, no code change. You just go configure your system and say how you want to change that. Go from pick, pack, ship to pick, pack, consolidate, ship, or pick, pack, consolidate, load, ship, whatever you want. You change that. And the beauty of it is, it's something you can do it on your own. Uh, while you, uh, if you're new to move, we train you about all this move engine and how to change your process. And it's something you can easily do it in your QA system, verify it, and then port it to your production, maybe during lunch break. No need to install a new executable, no need to go outside of your organization for this kind. Of course, you have a question, we'll answer, but all I'm trying to say, the beauty of it is at your fingertip. You can do it the way you want it to do it. Move is a multi-DC, has a multi-DC capability. If you have several different sites, it'd be easier on your IT department to only manage one move instance instead of 4 or 5. And we can talk to different host systems to manage all the different kind of DC orders, DCPOs, but it's all within one move instance. And we talked about, Joe mentioned about the dashboards and ThingWorks. I have a couple more slides. I uh, dig a little deeper on that. And, it's the right place to talk about. We talked about process, method, rules. We had the client who had the stores location, as well as they were providing e-commerce orders. But when the pandemic hit, the stores closed and the volume of the e-commerce business skyrocketed. They came to us, they said, well, how we can easily change this process, because for the stores, we don't allow them to pick eaches. We only pick cases and pallets. But for e-commerce, we need to allocate the eaches. So what can we do? He said, are you going to be able to allow them to pick eaches from same location you were picking cases? They said, yeah, okay. Make the eaches indicator allocatable. Boom, that was it. Or we had another client who really during pandemic, exactly March of last year, they had 48,000 orders that they need to ship, but they closed down the warehouse. They maybe only had 2, 3 people there. No way they were going to be able to process 48,000 orders, what they used to do like within a week or even less week before. So they said, what can we do? We need to let the dealer know that they cannot, not going to receive this part. Uh, uh, what can we do? We need your help. We cannot just go through 48,000 orders and try to cancel 10 at a time, 100 at a time. He said, no worries. power of move engine. We gave them a rule, 1 equals 2. Guess what? Our order shorter, send a short message to the host, and they use that message to notify their dealer that these orders are delayed and these are the expected delivery days. And they downloaded the back order to us when they were ready to go and start shipping. All I'm trying to show you guys the power of Move Engine and a big differentiator between us and other vendors. We talked about some of the Move features. One of the things we just released Move 12, and one of the items we added to the Move engine, everybody configure, run the test, look at the results. Okay, it looked good. But now we add a visualization. You pick a method, you want to run your method. There is some item that requires you need to have it, like what is the material status code? Is it what's the class code? Is it the same class? Is it a different product profile? And then you run your method, you see the results expecting, basically we're showing you what you internally in the system you're gonna see. So that really eases up, gives you more power to playing with your rules and method without actually running, seeing what's your copy. Now we created to give you a capability. If you want to add another DC to your current facility, you can use DC to DC copy because some items are static. Like for an example, maybe you want to use the same method. Maybe you want to use the same static data. But some things are not. Like locations are going to be different from one facility to another. But maybe the put away areas are the same. Maybe your work area is the same. Your drop locations might be the same or different. You can pick and choose what portion you want, move it from your current city to the new city, to the new DC, and take it from there. We had a lot of requests that if I'm receiving an item, I want my license plate to start with R and 8 digit. If I'm picking to a toad, it needs to start with T but 5 digit. If I'm putting a shipping label or a license plate on a packing box that I'm shipping, I want to have it start with P or K and different format. Now we made this as part of generic Move. However, you want your license plates to have every functionality to validate, start with them, have a space, have a only be digit or have alphanumeric and digit. It's all part of you can configure it to D. And we always try to stay on top of the security that comes to us from Tomcat or Java, because Move is a three-tier application. It has a front end, it has a back end. So the front end uses the Tomcat or WebLogic, and we try to stay on top of the security. It's a very hot topic here. So there was something that Java 11 pushed to us with URL decoding. Now, Joe touched about this dashboard, and this is part of the ThingWorks. So this is showing 3 DCs in one Move instance. And at any given day, at any given time, you want to know how many put aways there, how many picking tasks are there, how many packing tasks per DC. Every distribution center probably has some shape or form of this report. Maybe they developed a Crystal report, they wrote their own module or their own reporting tool to generate it. But the differentiator here is, you can configure it every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds to update. So it's real time, and the warehouse is very dynamic. Things are changing rapidly. So this can show at every like 5 seconds interval how many picking tasks you have there. What about high priority? What about uh, you have too many users doing put away, but you're running behind on your picking? Maybe you want to move some people from the put away to picking. Maybe you have some high priority order that's running behind, and you have like this 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. The truck is gonna leave at 5. You want to make sure you're gonna process those uh, 4 or 5 high priority orders. You can ask somebody, hey, XYZ, go to this location and assign those high priority orders to this person, have him go pick it and process it. So you don't miss your SLA. Now, this is not just talking to your warehouse. If you have a smart uh, connected system, if your conveyor has a smart sensor and it detects something going wrong, it can show it on this dashboard that maybe this scanner on the conveyor, scanner 2 on the conveyor A is misreading. And then it can show it here. Or maybe it can show you the schedule when the maintenance is supposed to happen. Maintenance is supposed to happen this weekend from 10 to 2 p.m., but you want to process a lot of items. You want to delay the maintenance. Again, all I'm trying to say is not a teamwork that can read move database, move information. It can read any information. Just another, we call it executive dashboard. Do you have high priority? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Do you have a high priority order that you haven't even reserved the inventory for? Do you have orders that because there were a problem with the ERP system, its perpetual inventory has downloaded the order to you, but you don't even have the inventory in the warehouse? That's where, when we're talking about move inventory accuracy, comes to the picture, because we try to keep move inventory accuracy in sync with your ERP. So once, if there is no discrepancy between perpetual inventory and move inventory, then every order that comes down, you can satisfy the order. And you're not going to have an excess inventory sitting in your facility where the ERP doesn't know about it. And because of the demand, it thinks it needs to create a PO. So you're not going to have an extra cost of an excess inventory, because Move has a real-time transaction at picking, at receiving, and we even have the capability of inventory snapshot. Maybe every other day, maybe once a week, you want to send the inventory snapshot to your ERP system. So everything becomes in sync. Our vision, a smart connected WMS. We can use Teamworks to connect to your ERP, to your design, to your stores, to your manufacturing, to your packaging, to your warehouse, to your stores, show everything all in one shot. Finally, we want to get there, be able to have a capability that we can show every aspect of your supply chain.